Yeah, but here, okay, looks like we're good here. All right, hey everyone, welcome back to another live, back at 5:15 Pacific Standard Time. So if you want to just let me know, make sure you can hear me clearly out there, and here in just a few minutes, we'll get rolling. So let's see here. Let's see. Perfect. Looks like we're pretty good. All right. Okay, perfect. So this video, guys, now I'm going to be toggling back and forth between a couple screens here and in a few minutes, and hopefully that'll be kind of more fun for us all. But I definitely want to welcome you all to the Lock Boss giveaway. So today, here in just a little bit, we're going to be announcing this week's 5 winners. And as you can see, I have a special guest today, as you know, Mr. Dennis Ma of Town Steel. Dennis, thank you so much for coming on YouTube Live with us.
Hi, PJ. Thank you. It's my pleasure to be here and see you again.
Yes, thank you. So is this the first time you've ever been on YouTube Live, or have you been on a live YouTube before?
My first time.
Okay, awesome. Now the funny part is it always kind of feel like it's like a Zoom call, right? But we're also live at the same time. So that's good stuff. So everyone, so this is the deal. So we have Dennis with us here for the next, I don't know, about 20-ish minutes. And so if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in the comment section, and I'll go ahead and do my best to ask Dennis the questions, and we'll be able to have some fun. And as you know, Dennis, he's given away 2 E-Elite 5000 Bluetooth locks. So Dennis, thank you so much for your support of the community and for doing that. It's really awesome.
I think you're doing a great job, and it's our pleasure to be part of it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you. So now, for those watching, if you have not already, you're going to want to watch the video. We posted it last week on Wednesday, as well as on our Lock Boss Show podcast, which you can watch on or listen to on Spotify or iTunes, however you'd like. If you can go there and you can listen to it, it kind of gives you some background on Town Steel and Mr. Dennis Ma here, and it's really good information. It's an awesome story of Dennis's rise up through the industry, and yeah, you definitely want to make sure you watch that. Now, Dennis, as we get going and people keep getting on here, there is some questions that some people had asked in the comments on the video, and I kind of want to just rapid fire them to you a little bit, if that's all right.
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, so let's say, by the way, Dennis, there's a lot of people on here saying hi to you as well. I know you can't see the comments, but so many community members are happy to have you on, and they're excited about it. So
yeah, and allow me to thank them for the very kind of comments, and I saw them all and appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes. You know, the one thing I'm probably most proud of the whole Lock Boss thing we have going on is like truly how nice and positive of a community we have here. And I really mean that. It's you know, it's easy online for people to get, you know, nasty and more negative, but that's not the case here. And I sincerely am very proud of it. So I'm glad they're treating you well as I would expect them to. So it's very awesome.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
So you know, we talked on the weather conditions a little bit, and you know, I think we kind of solved that, kind of figured that out quite a bit. But an area that I want to talk about is the RFID, right? So
Yes.
for those not too familiar, on
Yes.
the Town Steel 5000 series, whether that's the eGenius, eElite, all right, or eSmart, all of them have the 5000 series, and they all have the Bluetooth version. Now, Dennis, and on so the RFID, right? The RFID is going to work on both Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi locks, right?
Yes.
Okay, and they talk about, now maybe you can pronounce this better for me. MyFair. I've read it 1,000 times. I haven't really said it before, so it's MyFair.
Hey, your English is much better than mine. I
Okay.
13.56 megahertz. Yes.
Okay, and so some of the questions that we've gotten asked about this is, does it, you know what, let me actually pull up, I don't want to mess this up too bad here. Give me 1 second to pull this up. I wrote it down. Okay, so does that mean the MyFair Classic or Ultra Light?
Ultra light, we take EV1.
EV1. And what does that exactly mean? I'm sorry, I don't know too much about that.
RFID has built-in code in the chip, and we call that UID. That's Universal ID. And after so many years, they ran out of the numbers. So then I think NXP created EV1, which has more UID available right now. All this trying to make the key card more secure, harder to duplicate or copy. So that's
Okay.
EV1.
Okay, so that's the EV1. So so it's not a classic, it's like an ultra light then?
Yeah, this is, I think this is a higher security product. I think we are better than the ultra light. The classic
okay.
is old, it's ran out of the serial numbers. That's why they went into the next level, and this is the next level.
Excuse me. Okay. So with that being said, now obviously you accept your own RFID cards, the Town Steel ones, but do you, will the locks work with any third-party RFID card?
I would say yes, because the 4,000 or 5,000 are reading the UID. Therefore, any RFID key card will have a UID that we can read. And our lock, the reader is also a writer. We also write information on the key card from the lock.
Okay. Okay, so third party, if they have some other sort of RFID card, and a question, and forgive me, I don't know exactly what he's meaning here, but he says, okay. Do they look for magic cards?
No, let's put this way. Town Steel have two type of lock system. We have we call TSE Home for residential use, and then we have a Max Access for multifamily use. They are different systems. The TSE Home is read the UID, and we do not write encrypt into the sectors, but Max Access does. So all the key card used in the Max Access has to be encrypted, and we write the data in the sector one, so that every time you use it, you have to read the sector one information, such as the site number, all this encryption. So it's different level. So the 5,000, you can use any RFID key card. However, I need to caution you that our key card that we use are generic NXP key cards, and our reader antenna was made for that. So you get the best performance from the RFID key card. So when you touch the reader, how far you have to be and how fast you read. This is all perfect in our key card and our lock. So if you use any kind of key card, sometimes they have a lower cost generic, then your performance might not be as good, but it should work.
Okay. Okay, that's good info. I think that makes sense, and hopefully that answers that question pretty well. So the next question I want to talk about is does Town Steel have any plans to get some sort of like a Z-Wave compatible, like smart connectivity lock?
I think within 3 months, we're going to roll out our Z-Wave lock.
Oh, really?
We are already a Z-Wave Alliance member, so we are actually in the testing mode right now. Then
Okay.
we supply a lot of smart home use lock.
Oh, and will that be like a 5000 series Z-Wave, or like what does that kind of look like?
Well, we call that 3200 series. And
okay.
We are going to do a new lock for institutional customer who really like to use the keypad PIN code, but have a problem to manage the multiple user and multiple doors. So we are going to roll out a 3000 series very soon. The 3000 series is designed to handle, for example, you have 60 doors, you have 100 employees, and you want to manage that. And with the current 2000 series that we offer, it's very difficult because you have to, enter so many passwords into the lock. So we create 3000 that is a local-based software. It's you create a spreadsheet. You can enter 60 doors, and then you give name to the door, and then you can enter as many as 100, 200, 300 users, and then you assign their password. And then further, you can also assign some access time zone, so certain people can only valid code for certain hours. So that's why we call 3000 series. And we are also offering a handheld unit that you can download the database from the computer to the handheld, and you take your handheld to the door, you enter the master password to enter the programming mode, and then you hit the button from your handheld to transfer that door's data into the data bank in the lock. Then you can all of a sudden enter 100 user code into the lock with the certain time zone, like a small access control system. And then you can repeat that much faster and then easy to manage. And you can also download the data audit trail to your handheld or to your phone. But the handheld is the main unit. That's what we're developing, the 3000 series, and the 3200 series is the keypad with Z-Wave.
Okay, so it's a key. Okay, so there's a lot there. Thank you for sharing. I'm excited about this. So the 3000 that you're going to be coming out with, sounds like there's two versions. There's a 3200, which is going to be the Z-Wave, and then just the 3000. Now, this is based off the 2000 platform, which is the push button, not the touch screen, correct?
That's correct.
And when it comes to, you talk about local network. So essentially there'll be a spreadsheet that you fill the information out on, you connect to this unit you would buy separately via USB.
No, it's a handheld. It's almost like a size of a charger. And then there's a screen there. There's numeric buttons in there. So that is like a small PDA. And then you download the data. Then you can take the data with you. You don't have to take the computer with you to program the door.
Okay, so, but you would fill out the spreadsheet on your actual computer,
Yes,
and then you'd connect via like USB to the drive to dump the data on the device.
exactly.
And then from there, you go and you hook it up to each lock and you just data dump the whole thing. It's right there. It's good to go.
Exactly. And soon we're going to show you the Max Access, which is designed for the multifamily. So suppose you have a multifamily project with 300 units. Then you have a common area, you have a parking lot, you have an elevator, you need a control, and then you have individual doors. So often the question I will ask you is, who owns that unit? Is that a rental property, or that is actually, individually own the property, but then they share the common area? So all this create, a question: how do you manage those? And then later on, that will become you need a computer now. You cannot just use your phone, because your phone is only for few doors, few locks, not for hundreds of doors, hundreds of users. That's what it's designed for.
Gotcha. Now, as far as the audit trail goes on the 3000 series,
Yes.
How many cycles or what time frame is on that?
Well, each lock will store at least 1,000 entry, the latest 1,000. So when you pull the data to the handheld, you can transfer that back to your computer, and you can pull out as a spreadsheet, and then give you the username and time, and what they did. And then you can print out. You can also sort. So when you manage the big premises, you need auditor, and that help you in case something happened. We want to know, last Thursday, 5 p.m., who entered the store, and that become important. They give you some data.
Okay. And so that definitely makes sense to put that on there. So we have some questions. As we've been talking, we keep having all these questions come in, and I'm going to get lost here in a minute on them. But a couple questions, I think. So Jenkins Locks is asking, is that database encrypted?
The database is encrypted, yes, and your password protected. Being encrypted means that our data transmission, they are, our key card is encrypted, our handheld is encrypted. If you pick up something, you cannot just read the ink contents. No, you cannot.
Okay. And I have a question here. I just remembered here. I got to write this down before I forget it. I don't want to interrupt the flow here. Let me keep going here.
Questions become more and more professional question now.
Yeah. Let me surf through here. Oh, okay. Yep. Here we go. So, a question that is asked is, and I don't know if you, how many of the videos you've watched of the one that I've made about the Town Steel, but the Bluetooth function with the app is absolutely amazing, right? Like, I mean, one of my favorite features is that you can actually pull a different random code to get in the building if there was an emergency for someone to use to get in, right? Which is really awesome. And but a common question that we've been asked a ton about is the ability on like the 5000 BLE. Can you, at some point, like, is it a feature down the road you guys are looking at, is being able to take the information off one lock and then dump it, kind of like what you're talking about with the 3000, but on like a smaller scale? So if a business has 2 of those locks or 3 of those locks, that they can just dump that data into those other 2 instead of having to reprogram every little thing. Is that something that's on the table, or are you going to say that in that situation you'd want to put them in a 3000?
Okay, if that's what you want, we can add it. We have another lock that we offer right now called FCE or FME. It was designed for the school lockdown. And then the school usually have hundreds of doors, and then hundreds of teachers. So we did create a feature called database card. So we are able to swipe with a programming card, which is like a MasterCard, and then you present the empty database card, which is like a 4K RFID key card. And then you can download all the user code from the lock to the keys. And then you can take that key using your programming card to the new lock. And then you enter the programming mode, you present a database card, you just download, and then he can quickly, in a couple of seconds, all download, drop into the new lock. We have that features on another series, but the 5000 usually is designed for a home use. So it didn't really consider that. But if you like to use that in a small business, like a small whatever, some owners probably own multiple property, they want to use that lock. We can add that. Okay, I will take that note, and then we will start designing, putting that into our firmware.
Okay, wow. So is what you're saying, eventually what's possible is to be able to buy a separate card, like a MasterCard type of thing, that will, from the Bluetooth lock, that can essentially download the data onto the card that you can move around and use and to program the other cards. Is that the other locks?
We're talking about the RFID key card. The regular RFID key card that we normally use is only a 1K data, so you don't need a very large data data memory in there. But if you want to use as a database card, then we can it's available in the market from us or from outside. You get a 4K RFID key card, so you can put more data in there. I don't remember exactly how many, but you can put several hundred, in there easy.
Oh, okay. That's very interesting. So, Adam Morris. So, if you at the beginning, before you hopped on here, we actually went over quite a bit of the RFID stuff. I actually read off your question, so you can kind of get the answers there. But a question I didn't ask was if people have a RFID implant. Do you know, Dennis, if you can program those to the Town Steel locks?
I am not sure.
Yeah,
they may not be my fare. If the frequency is not the same, I don't think it can. And then, well, we can study that. I never heard about this question. I can study that. Probably give time.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. Let me keep going through these questions.
And we are MyFair. Remember, we are MyFair, and as much as we want to, we can only buy the chips from whatever is available. Right?
Sure. Now, when it comes to, and everyone, I just want to thank you. So there's been a lot more people have hopped on since we started this conversation. I just want to say welcome. Thanks for being here. Here in just a few minutes, we're going to actually do our live giveaway. So Thanks for tuning in. And, as we kind of wrap up the question session here, Dennis, is there anything new outside of what we've talked about kind of coming out that you can share about? That's a lot of great information about the 3000 and the 3200 locks. Those are great. Can't wait to see those. But is there anything else?
Yeah, for example, right now, let me tell you this. We are trying to help our customer to manage their property and at the same time trying to be reasonably, economically available. So right now you will hear, everybody like the new tech. They want to be cloud. They want to be this. And, let me tell you, everything on the cloud require a lot of engineering. So there's very costly, and therefore you have monthly renewable fee associated. But to me, I think, the next thing we want to do is we're trying to increase and improve our power on the max access. Our max access right now is offline, database controlled, multifamily system. But going to roll out before the end of the year is our next version, which we call LAN plus wireless. So the property will have a server, and then we will install multiple gateways, either it's a Wi-Fi gateway or it's a Bluetooth gateway. Then the whole system, whole unit, the whole property become online. But then it's local because it's LAN server. So you don't have to pay monthly fee. And then, unlike other company, you have to pay $10 per lock per month. So for 300 units, it's very costly. But we don't need that. We give you everything online and then no monthly fee. And then there's no cloud people can hack. It's everything local. So you build a strong firewall, you are secured. We call that 6,000 on the max access, remember? The 6,000 plus Bluetooth, we call 7,000. So the 6,000 plus the Wi-Fi gateway, we call 8,000. So the 7,000, 8,000 is coming up before the end of the year.
Okay.
Help operator to save money, help owner to save money, but you still have all the convenience and you have the security. That's the new product coming.
Awesome. Yeah, that's tell you what, I mean, your development team at Town Steel has been busy.
Yes, we are busy.
Been real busy with that
and
stuff.
Now you understand why I numbered those products. So I can increase that. Maybe one day I will be young with 10,000, right?
Yes. That's good stuff. So, well, Dennis Cyril, thank you so much again for coming on here. Let me rapid fire you questions. Great. As you know, I really like the Town Steel locks. I talked a lot about the feel in the video we did. Absolutely love the feel. I use your locks on a daily basis, and I absolutely love them. I mean, I just do. I mean, if I didn't, I wouldn't want to be promoting it the way that I am because I'm not a believer, but I am a believer in the Town Steel product. So.
Thank you. I am too. I have 4 locks installed in my house.
Yes, that's good.
Yes,
that's really good. So, Dennis, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to switch gears here for a second, and we'll get on to the giveaway. And I know it's 5:40 over where you're at, and I know it's dinner time, and so I want to get you out of here at a good time. But I really appreciate you coming on here. So. Yes, for those in the questions here. Yes, so Titan lock and key. I'm going to answer your questions here in just a second. Thank you for joining us today, by the way. But and thank you for all. I see so many familiar names in the chats. Got Mr. Ken Nixon. I'm still waiting for that email so you can come on live with us one of these weeks. I mean, come on. I mean, with all the comments that you have, we have, we'll have a lot of fun doing that. But Sean Baker and Brian and Joseph and Keyman and Adam, guys, thank you all. Gumby, thank you all for coming on here. So now here in a second, I'm going to go ahead and announce the rules, okay? But before I do, I have a couple quick little updates. So we have another podcast dropping. It's about price increases, which actually, Dennis, you know what? I want to talk to you about this just for a minute here. Brass has increased quite a bit, right? The cost of brass, the cost of copper, the cost of zinc. Like, how much does that really affect, like, when you guys are looking at price increases and all that stuff? Like, it has to be kind of difficult to kind of forecast what brass is going to be. I mean, what's your take on that?
It's a difficult time right now. For example, for some certain electronic components, we were giving lead time 14 months. You're not going to believe that. For certain Bluetooth chips, you can't even get a quote right now because everybody is fighting for those chips. And then even on the steel price goes up so much. I have a partner making the stamping for me more than 29 years. He has a big parking lot full of cold rolled steel rolls, like 3 feet rolls. And today he's empty because the steel mill couldn't supply. So it's pretty bad time right now. The good part is Townsteel has 90,000 square feet, and I usually stock very well. I have probably total $14 million of inventory. But the problem is that, you're never going to have enough because your customer knows what you don't have and order that. So
Yeah.
No.
Dennis, that is the absolute truth. I tell you what, I mean, the second we run out of something, it seems like everybody wants it,
Yep.
It's like Murphy's Law at its absolute finest.
Yep. Therefore, today, all the big boys have released their price increase, and some 4%, some 3.75%. And I'm telling you, there's another wave coming on. And then I believe there's another wave of shortage coming on because, even today, the shipping time is much longer now. We have some shipped in the port of Los Angeles, hasn't cleared their custom yet. So all the, pandemic really add a lot of, uncertainty to the business. And Townsteel, we're lucky. We have very solid supply chain because we are the main supplier anyway. So far, we haven't rolled out our price increase yet. But unfortunately, I think it's coming. It's probably coming in 2 weeks from now because we just couldn't hang on anymore. And we also don't have pretty good visibility, and that's the sad part. I think the world is in a very different environment right now. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah, and in the podcast, Dennis, that's being released today or tomorrow, it's typically being rendered and worked on when we're on live for whatever reason, but so I don't know off the top of my head, but I really kind of talk about the copper and zinc and what that all means in the podcast coming up. It's kind of something I like. Metals, I like kind of following metals. I find it fascinating, and in our industry, it's always locks and keys, right? Key blank manufacturers, they're going up this month between 8.5% and 10%, right? And when you look at the graphs of copper and zinc, they're way past that type of percentage increase.
Oh yeah.
So it's very fascinating.
Oh yeah, some steel door raised 12%, 10% because the material is going up. So unfortunately, and so the post-pandemic will probably create another wave of shortage.
Yeah, I absolutely believe it. So it's very interesting. Well, yeah, thank you for sharing that information. And for everyone watching, go and check out that podcast on Spotify or iTunes, wherever you watch it. So without further ado, let's get on to the giveaway. And as we showed in some of the advertisements for this live today, Mr. Dennis Ma is giving away 2 Townsteel E-Elite 5000 Bluetooth locks. So I'm pretty pumped for 2 winners to get that out of the 5. Now, don't worry, all 5 we're going to be hooking up, all right? But 2, Townsteel is actually giving away. Dennis, honestly, I'm honored to have you on here and to chat with you. And the fact that you're going to be giving a couple locks away, honestly, is absolutely amazing to me. So thank you for doing that.
We think you're doing a great job. You've been a great customer, and we like to be here to support you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. So let me go ahead and go over the rules, okay, and make sure we're all on the same page. And then Mr. Dennis Ma here is going to announce the 5 winners and then draw out for the 2 winners of the E-Elite lock. So here we go. This is how it works. Each and every week, we post videos on YouTube. When you comment on the video and include the hashtag LockBoss, you are automatically entered in to win one of 5 prizes that we give away each and every week. Now, each contest is a standalone. It runs Monday through Sunday, and then the winner is picked and announced on Tuesday, and we announce them live here on YouTube at now 5:15 Pacific. And there's no purchase necessary to enter to win. We're literally just hooking you up. We have been doing this every week now for quite a while. We've given out tens of thousands of dollars worth of prizes, and we love your participation. Absolutely love it. Okay. I do my best to respond to all and like all of the comments you guys post, and I really appreciate your interaction. So that's how it works. No purchase necessary. If you want to be a part of the giveaway, all you have to do, comment on our videos, include the hashtag LockBoss, and you can be one of the 5 winners each and every week. So that's how it works. Now, if Mr. Dennis Ma calls your name, okay, your YouTube name, you have got to either email in at sales@clksupplies.com or call us at 800-848-6989. Now, when you do that, we just want to make sure we have your right shipping address, and we're going to hook you up. It's really that simple. So that's how it works. And let me go ahead and switch the screens here so they can see both of us at the same time. All right, there we go. And perfect. Well, yeah, so I think we go. So for all of you joining who are drinking topos with me, as you can see, I'm almost done here. I want to chug the rest of this, but we'll go and keep the party rolling here. So is what we're going to do now. Dennis has the winners. Dennis, I'm going to give a little drum roll here. And if you want to announce the first winner, we like to do a little drum roll in between each one for fun because it's goofy. And then, oh yes, do you have a topo over there? Is that a topo?
No, I didn't. I don't know. I didn't never drink that before. Sorry.
Oh, no worries. No worries. It's just it's mineral water made in from Mexico.
Yeah.
So
next time I'll get a case.
Yeah. No worries. No worries. So, all right. So here we go. Winner number 1 of this week LockBoss giveaway is
William Martin.
William, congratulations. Let's see here. And this is, and then here we go. Winner number 2 is
John Falk.
John Falk, congratulations. Very cool. Winner number 3 is
Bear Spec.
Bear what?
Bear Spec.
How do you spell the last part?
BEARSBACK.
Bears Pack. Okay, awesome, awesome. Here we go. Winner number 3 is
Bear Spec.
Oh, Bears Pack. I'm sorry. Winner number 4 is
Adam Morris.
Adam Morris. I know he's watching. I think John's on here too. Very awesome. Congratulations, Adam. And winner number 5 of this week's giveaway is
Carlos Vasquez.
Very awesome. And Dennis, would you mind holding up the sheet to the camera there for a second? That way we can make sure we get them all. Carlos Vasquez, awesome. So we got William Martin, John Falk, Bears Back, Adam Morris, and Carlos Vasquez. Congratulations to all of you. Dennis, thank you for announcing those. And yeah, if you wouldn't mind putting them in a hat, and we will draw the 2 winners of the Town Steel locks. Yeah, nice hat, by the way.
Thanks.
So get them all nice and tore up there, and I'm excited to see who's going to win these.
I'm going to drop in the head.
Okay. And then let me know when you're ready to draw the first one. We'll keep them going here.
Shake it.
Oh, yep, there we go. Yep, got to shake it up. Shake it up.
Okay.
Here we go.
One come out.
Winner number 1 of a Town Steel lock is
John Falk.
John Falk. Congratulations. You are getting a Town Steel Elite 5000 Bluetooth lock. Very cool.
Congratulations.
Yes. And winner number 2 of a Town Steel lock is
Carlos.
Carlos Vasquez. Awesome. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. Now make sure all 5 winners, you guys are emailing in to sales@clksupplies.com or calling us at 800-848-6989 so we can get your shipping address correct. And we're going to hook you up. Very cool. Very cool. Well, Dennis, that's it. I mean, we're done here. Thank you so much once again for coming on. I've had a blast, and I'm really looking forward to those, the 3,000 and the 3,200, because I can tell you, I'm going to be getting some of those 3,200s myself. So it's going to be great.
Excellent. Thank you all. Thank you very much for having me. And I know there's a gentleman asking if he can visit the factory because he's the local. And of course, please. And you can find our address online, and you can send me a message to the sales@townsteel.com and tell me when you're coming, and I will receive you personally.
Awesome. That'll be absolutely great. Dennis, I tell you what, next time I'm down there, I'll be swinging by for sure. So
okay, you're welcome.
Great. Yeah. Thank you so much for the open invite for people down there. So yes, thank you. Very awesome. So without further ado, everybody, thank you for being a part of the new time at 5:15 and for hopping in and joining and having fun and chatting with Dennis and asking questions. What a great time. I hope you all have a wonderful evening, as well as you, Dennis. And we will all see you next week.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Good night.
All right, Dennis. Well, there we go.